the big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Good evening. 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 Good evening.
Right, what did you make of VAR today?
Strange decision. Good evening. 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 Yeah. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, cunt lords and motherfuckers. I know, fucking hell, it just sounded like I was from the Orient. I'll try and do it again. Here we go. Good evening, cunt lords and motherfuckers. This is the United Forever podcasts. I am a Sam Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
Adam Shagum.
Would you like a chapati? Sorry.
You sounded like you come from Transylvania. I want to suck your blood.
Mate, when you think about Emery, mate, he looks like he wants
Yeah.
to be fucking Dracula with his like old school happy shopper hair gel. Fucking concrete look.
Oh, God.
Oh dear. So how's it going?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Bit tired, but I'm okay.
Good stuff.
Yourself?
Yeah, yeah, not too bad. You need some Aussie pingers, mate. I don't know if you watched the video of Slendy with his pingers.
I
You gotta
haven't
check
yet.
it
No, I
out.
haven't got round to it.
So
Right.
I was watching it with Davey Boy G at work today, mate. We were pissing ourselves, and some Aussie's gone and only made a Pingers like Pringles T-shirt. For anyone that's not up
Right.
to date with Pingers, Pingers is the Aussie term for like ease, you know, the drug.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the old football. You know, we lost at the weekend 1-0. I didn't watch the match, and I made a
Yeah.
confession to the absolute legend that is Santa Notch. And I said it's because I went down to the coast and I had fish heads
Yeah.
again for lunch, which were they're a local delicacy. So.
I'll have to trust you
But
on
you
that
know,
one.
in the mate, you know when they sell like fish in the UK, like sea bream and sea bass, do they still sell the
Yeah.
whole fish, including the head? Can you buy
Yes.
the fish with the head?
Yes. I think that's
Mate, you
on
want to
the.
grill? You
What?
want to grill the
Yeah. I'm thinking. Yeah, you can do. If you went
whole
to like
bugger.
if you went to a proper fishmonger, then yeah, you probably would. But if you went somewhere like the fish counter at like Tesco's,
Yeah,
they're normally filleted and ready. The only thing that has a head really would be like the mackerel and the salmon. If you buy a whole salmon, if
okay,
you've got that sort of money.
mate. Because what they do here is they just grill the whole thing, and mate, all the flavors in the head. Trust me. I mean, that's what she said. But, you know.
Really?
And then, yeah, great news. We managed to scrape a victory last night in the
We
Champions
did.
League match. So we won 2-1,
Yes.
mate. What a fucking experience! Down in my man cave in the basement, I set up the
Yes.
HD projector. We're talking
Yeah.
like more than 100-inch on the screen, and when fucking CR7 was celebrating, I was jumping up and down next to him. This is how big the screen felt. It was mental. Brilliant
Yeah.
experience. And then,
Yeah.
but anyway, before we talk about, the footy analysis, we like to talk about
Yes.
random shit on this channel. So
Of
if you're
course.
not, like, if you're squeamish and stuff, like, turn away, watch something else like Emmerdale. So you've successfully completed a week with my colleague David Boyd G, who's an ex-sports
Yep.
scientist for Real Madrid, and he's
Correct.
helping you to follow some kind of nutrition and exercise plan. So tell us about how that's been going, mate.
Well, it's quite funny because I'm messaging him every other day, and
Yeah.
he asked me yesterday how my guts have been, and I was like, to be honest with you, not too bad. I was expecting a lot worse than what I'd been experiencing. However, today the world has fallen out of my ass. That's all I can say.
Mate, how did you describe it when after you'd eaten copious amounts of lentils and pulses? How would you describe
Oh shit!
the result?
Hang on, hang on. Where is it? Oh.
Something about
Where?
sand?
Oh, yeah, that was it. Oh, hang on. Shit, I've lost it. Hang
Oh,
on.
come on, mate.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, it goes. It looks like someone's chucked wet sand in the toilet bowl.
Oh, brilliant, mate. And mate, Davy Boy G told me an anecdote the other day at work, and I absolutely pissed myself. He said he had this mate, one of his best mates up in Madrid,
Yeah.
was a dirty bastard, and he walked in on him having a wank in his bathroom. This was when they were about like 16 or something, and he'd gone into
Right.
the fucking the linen bin, you know, where the dirty clothes are, and he had Davy Boy's mother's knickers in his hand while he was banging one out. Fucking wrong. Mate, if we've got any international listeners, which we do have quite a few, I did say the word knickers with the CK in the middle of the word, which refers to the female undergarments. So, yeah, mate,
Oh,
that would have
brilliant.
been a fucking sight and a half, catching your mate sniffing your mum's fucking undergarments. Anyway,
Oh my god.
onto some serious shit, yeah? Hold on. Oh, wait, here we go. Wow. Oh, bloody
Yep.
hell.
I can smell that from here.
What was I saying? Yeah, mate, shout out to the legend that is Johnny Cavani on his the United Way channel. He did a brilliant vlog the other day, and the atmosphere was mental at Old Trafford. So you guys have got to check it out. Absolutely brilliant. And then in the last episode we took the piss out of well, it was the West Ham players, past and present, by using a sort of pop and rock singers theme. So some of our listeners from the community, which includes United Steve 79, came up with for George Paris Michael. And then I thought there was also a clever one for Sam Bryan. He said Sam Bryan Adams. So if you remember
Yeah, that was clever.
uh, that film that we used to love, what was it? The Robin Hood one. Can you
Oh
remember
yeah,
that one? Yeah,
yeah.
not the one with men in tights or Strumpfhosen in German. So, which sounds more appropriate. Oh, for some
Yeah,
reason, the emphasis, mate, on wearing nylon, brilliant. Then you got that big red
yeah,
bus. He found the old inclusion of David Moyes trying to speak Spanish at the beginning of the last episode, quite
yes,
amusing. And he came up for George. Sorry for George McCartney. He said George Paul McCartney. So there was a clever
nice.
insertion there for the ones that like the Scousers playing the old.
Yes,
What do you call it? I was going to say the maracas. No, the guitars and stuff. The old. What
yeah.
are they called? Oh fucking hell, mate! I've been listening to too much fucking Dutch rave music lately. The
The
Beatles.
Beatles. Hey,
Yeah, mate. There we go.
got them
So I'm
here.
gonna have a swig of my beer, and then I'm gonna talk about my favourite Notchster. Here we go. Well, I don't know any others. Here we go. So he came up with ready. He says
Yep.
the Kevin Nolan sisters. Very good. We've got we've got Neil Keith Harris and Orville for Neil Orr, which is a fucking mix and a half there. And Oh, and I love this one, mate. This reminds me of hold on, Rick Mail. Declan Rice said Fred.
Nice.
Mate,
That's impressive.
that was a good laugh, mate.
Yes.
Oh, I was talking to David Boy G about your dad the other day, and I reminded him to go back and watch the episode we did, or listen to the banter cast that we did, taking the piss out of your dad. And for the
Yeah.
backdrop on the loop, we used Rick Mail in underpants from Bottom, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then for Noel Cantwell, we finally got Noel can't sing that well. Sorry, Noel can't sing well. I've just butchered that. Apologies, Notch. So Santa Notch
Oh,
has just demonstrated absolute dedication to us cunt lords, mate, because he had
yeah.
caught up with the previous episodes and he'd offered us some grade A puns. And I said, mate, you know, he's got to come over for Sunday lunch. So if you can put up with the old pig trotters and fish heads, you know, he's more than welcome. And he did sort of mention that, you know, the pig trotters are a festive delicacy over in Italy. And
Yeah.
I've also heard, mate, that the lentils as well, Santa Notch can correct me, but I believe the lentils are also very popular for New Year's Eve over in Italy. So
All right.
you've been maxing out on lentils, so maybe you could get a recipe off Notchta for some authentic Italian lentils, mate. So that'll help you with
Definitely.
your
Definitely.
extremely fibrous diet. So moving on, we've got another bloke, Ron Mills. Now he said if Tony has to go, right, the old Marshall debate,
Yeah.
how much do you reckon we'll get? So any ideas, mate? What do you reckon about this?
Um, I think we would need to get at least 40 million, but I don't think anybody would be willing to pay 40 million. I
No.
think because what did we buy him for?
We
36, wasn't it?
something like that, but you know, in the song we've got for him, you know, it's 50 million down the drain according to the English press.
Yeah.
So you
I
know,
think there was add-ons as well, weren't there? So potentially it
yeah,
would have been 50 mil, but yeah, I think if we got anything between 30 or 40 for him, that would be pretty sound business. Um, but to be honest with you, I can't see Ollie letting him go.
right. I'm going to say something. And you know that I've defended Tony before, but
Yeah,
I've also sort of hypothesized about, you know, letting Tony go and getting a bit of cash. But I still like the
yeah,
bloke. I do like the bloke. I think he's silky, and he's just got the facial expression that he can't help. You know, I mean, it's
yeah,
like me. I was born with a weird face and an odd shaped head, but you know, that's just genes, isn't it? But
yeah,
Tony, he's got something about him. He's got some really sick moves, and we complain
yeah,
about his work rate, but
yeah,
I'm sorry. I know that Cristiano was the star of the show in the end last night,
yeah.
but I do think that his work rate off the ball is also questionable because he wasn't
Oh, yeah,
pressing
without a
until
doubt.
Cavani came on,
Yeah,
and he literally looked like he'd been trying to compete with oh fucking hell, who was that bloke from E17 that boasted about having 17 pingers in one night and nothing happened to him? Do you
oh,
remember the bloke who
Brian
looked like
Harvey.
ET with the flat cap? There we go. Yes.
Yeah,
So, mate, El Matador literally looked like it had a whole bag of pingers, and he was running around
oh,
winning the
mate.
ball back, and he was pumped,
Yeah,
and he just lifted the mood. The crowd were going
yeah,
wild. I thought it was fucking epic as anything. So,
yeah,
um, I think going back to Tony's work rate, I think that
yeah,
his work rate's moderate, and it could be better,
yeah,
but I don't want him to go because I think we need the depth.
yeah. I think with him, unfortunately, he tries too hard. He tries too many
Yeah.
touches of the ball. Um, he definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, is not a number 9. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's not a full. He's not a full-on lone striker. Just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
However,
But
in the
yeah.
in the UK press, I have been reading that potentially we're going to offer him up and cash for Haaland.
And
But
maybe a bag of
I
skips as
don't.
well on the side.
Well, you never know. You never know. But
Yeah.
it's it'd be
But
interesting. But I
I
don't know.
yeah. But moving on to, I mean, that's a good debate. But moving on to the old punnage piss take, for this episode, we're going to use car related puns to take the piss out of the past and present Villa players. So I was telling
Yep.
my colleague Irish Damo about this. And I happened to mention that when we were kids, when Grandad used to drive us up and down what was the A1 back in the day, like an absolute
Yep.
nutter doing over 90 miles an hour in his Vauxhall. And I said that he
Yep.
had, which is Opel over on the European continent. And I don't know if
Yep.
they do Vauxhalls or Opels over in America. Maybe Boomhauer can clarify that. But anyway, Grandad used to have a Belmont, and
Yep.
Damien was asking me, so what was the equivalent over here in Europe? And I thought, I think it was the Cadet. It was called, because I think my father-in-law had
Right.
it. Anyway, so he came up with a
Yeah.
cheeky pun, and he says, "What about the Fresh Prince of Belmont?"
Nice.
So,
Nice.
I mean, Grandad used to fucking bomb it, didn't he? Foot down, and Nan'd be
Yeah.
bollocking him as anything, and me and you would be pissing ourselves in the back of the car. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, you
Yeah.
are the elder, and as true tradition, I shall let you have the rhythm stick. So give me one of your puns, mate.
Right. My first one is their goalkeeper, Jed Steer. So Jed steer the car.
Mate, I've got that, but I've put down Jed's steering wheel.
Nice. Two great minds, you see.
Yes, mate. Fucking inbred. Give me your next one.
um, right, I'm going to butcher his first name, but is it Esri? Esri Conta, is it? Is that, is it
Oh.
Isai? I don't know. Google.
Right, for anyone that's sort of not listened to our episodes of last season, mate, how funny was it when you were trying to mention the
Allegri.
name of Juventus manager, Allegri, and you were like, Alighieri? So, mate, what do you call him? Ezra who?
No.
Ezra
Is it?
Canati.
Is it Ezra Canati? That's it.
I don't
Ezra
know, but
Canati, is it? I don't,
I'm not
Ezri
sure.
is his first name. Is it?
All right, EZR Ezri, yeah?
Yeah, so it is Ezri
Okay,
Canati.
yeah.
Yeah, so
No, Consa. Esri
yeah,
Consa.
that's it. Concert. That's it. So he's from now on going to be called Esri Corsa. Got there in the
Oh,
end.
lovely. Oh, mate, I've got an anecdote for you, right? So
Yeah,
basically, over here on the continent, they couldn't call the Vauxhall Corsa. Sorry, they couldn't. But back in the day, right? So one of the most popular cars for the sort of lads to tune up was the Vauxhall Nova. Can you remember?
yeah, yeah. The Vauxhall
Right.
Nova. Yeah,
So that would be one of the that would be one of the cheapest cars that the lads would be able to buy. Whack on the old muzzler and everything, and whack out the noise. Anyway, over here on the continent, it wasn't the Vauxhall Nova. It had to
right.
be Corsa, and I'll tell you why. Because in Spanish, if you write no va or nova,
Yeah.
which means it won't go. So you ain't having a car called it won't go.
Brilliant.
So, mate, I'll give you my next one. We've got one of the most
Yep.
popular chav cars over here in Spain. We've
Yeah.
got Seat Leon Bailey.
Do you know something? I've got that exact one. Seat Leon Bailey. That's what I put as well. You beat me to it.
Fucking hell. Oh, nice one, mate. All right, give me your next one.
Right. My next one's an old player called Frank Moss. So he's
Okay.
going to be called Frank Sterling Moss, as in Sterling Moss, the racing driver back in the day.
Oh, that is very, very clever. Well played, mate. Your dad would be proud of you because he used to love wearing his, well, you know, what was he doing? His MG racing or the old Ford Cortina racing?
Yeah.
Can't remember
Yeah.
which car it was.
The Capri.
Nice one. So we will dedicate our farts to your dad and his racing
Yeah.
Ford Capris. Well, my next pun, right, is based on
Yeah.
a player who we've loaned out to Villa. So I've called him Wheel and Axle to Anzibi.
Nice. Right. My next one is
Yeah.
is I think he's retired now, but is it Ron Vlaar, the Dutch player?
Oh, mate, yeah. He was.
Yeah.
I was speaking to my Dutch colleague, and he was telling me
Yeah.
that he was playing over at AZ Alkmaar, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So yes.
Right. Well, yeah. So Ron Vlaar is now going to be known as Ron Volvo.
And I've got a bit of a cheeky one now. I just could not help myself. We've got Jimmy Rimmer. I've got Jimmy Aluminium Arse Rimmer.
Uh,
I couldn't help my inner child. I had to whack in the arse there. Ah,
that's
what's
it.
your next one, mate?
That's it, mate. I'm out.
Okay, here's my last. All right, I've got this is my last one, yeah, and this right, it was for J. Lloyd Samuel. I've called him Alloyd Samuel.
Nice. J. Lloyd.
Now, back in the
Quality.
day, mate, mate, this is no bullshit. Back at uni, right? My old flatmate from Redbridge, Knowlesy, he used to call me J. Lloyd. Sam, J. Lloyd Samuel. And I remember one time, I think I mentioned in the last pod we did with David R, the Undertaker, about how I'd pissed him off about the itchy bags because he was crossing
Right.
campus with his dirty washing and the itchy bag, which were those
Yes.
like indestructible tartan bags with zips, which people like to take when they do their shopping in town. Anyway,
Yes.
one time he would always, this was like his staple diet. Didn't matter what he'd make for dinner, but he'd always have to have a slice of bread and butter and a cup of tea. And I happened to be sitting next to him in the kitchen. Now this was gone back fucking what 17 years ago. Time flies, mate. And
Mate, it does. It does.
mate, I did the worst fucking rotten fart right next to him just as he was putting his hovis in his mouth. And his literal words were, J Lord, J Lord. Sorry. Sorry, don't know where the fuck Lord came from. He went, J Lloyd, get the fuck out of my face. Oh, mate.
J Lord. What?
Mate, he was so fucking pissed off with me. He like stopped talking to me for about a week. And then
Really?
it happened that he was quite an emotional person, and it turned out right that we went on this fucking wild night out, and when he came back to the flat, he was fucking chundering everywhere. And I carried him. I don't know how I carried him, but he was about 6'6". Managed to put him in his bedroom in the recovery position, and he was still
Yeah,
chundering. And I found this like random like plastic box, and I think it belonged to the cleaners that had like bottles of bleach in it. And I just like emptied the box, and he was
yeah.
chundering in that. And I said, "Mate, I'm fucking knackered, mate. I'm going to bed." And he's like, "J Lloyd, please don't go. Will you hold my hand?" It's like, fuck off.
Brilliant.
Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, mate. Right. Before
Fantastic.
we talk about any more random shit, let's go back to the old football.
Yeah,
Double DG, mate. He's on fire. What do you reckon about
he
old
is.
De Gea, mate?
Yeah, no, he did a couple of quality saves last night. You know, and I think he actually injured himself in the process at one point, didn't he? Going for the save.
Yeah,
And
I think he did it on purpose using the
yeah, I
dark
think
arts,
so.
which was a good thing to sort of have a bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think so. It brought
Because,
the tempo right back down, didn't it? Because they were they proper come at us, um,
yeah.
and they're oh, what's their player's name? Hang on, let me just put it up.
You mean, well, Paco Alcácer? Paco Alcácer?
No, Danjuma, mate. How
Yeah.
fast is he?
All right, yeah. Yeah, mate. He's like a
He was
fucking
causing us
kangaroo
all.
on fingers.
Yeah, he was
Just
causing us all
opening a
sorts
can
of
of whoop
problems.
ass. Yeah, he was. Mate, but if I was De Gea, I would have done the same thing, sort of lie around on the floor saying I've broken a rib or something to
Yeah.
avoid having a repeat of what Gary Lineker did in Coppa Italia, fucking shitting himself when he slid on the floor.
Yeah.
You need to
But
watch that video, mate. The bloke was disorientated, holding his ass,
right,
smelling his fingers,
right.
doing a Joachim Low, the old sniff test.
Yeah, the old finger sniff. Beautiful. But
Oh,
um, yeah, De Gea definitely has improved on last season, no end. I think that's a lot to do with the old Ronaldo factor that has brought out the best in everyone.
yeah, Daffo got his mojo
I
back.
think um, I don't know if you've seen anything on socials or whatever, but you have to feel sorry for Van der Beek because he looked well pissed off when he didn't get brought on.
Apparently, he throwing his chewing gum at feeling.
Yeah, yeah, this is it. Yeah, so yeah, and what a goal
No,
by
but listen,
Telles.
the Lord and Savior. Oh, mate, that was fucking beautiful. But before we
Yeah,
talk about that, I just want to say something, right? Joe Smith over on the paddock released a video
yeah,
earlier where he was talking about sort of trying to calm down the nerves of the fan base, saying how we're overreacting and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
anything could have happened. I mean, I don't think he was just throwing his chewing gum on the floor because he hadn't been picked. I mean,
No,
he could be picked at the weekend because Ollie's got to avoid burnout. We don't want Pogba to
yeah,
be, running around with a double wank bandage on his arm and stuff. So he'll need resting at some point. And
yeah,
Fred might even need to be used at left back next on Saturday against Everton because you never know if Tellers is going to have the muscle,
yeah,
to play twice in 1 week. But the goal, mate. Oh,
oh,
Beckham,
yeah,
Scholes, boom.
yeah, yeah. Whatever way you look at it, as soon as that ball come over and the way he positioned himself, I thought to myself, he's going for a shot here, and I thought this is going to go sky high, and that's what I honestly believed. I thought he was going to absolutely sky it, but he managed to compose himself
Yeah.
and got his knee over the ball and just drove through the ball. And well, there wasn't anybody who was going to save that shot. That was amazing to see.
I mean, he's got a very good shot on him, and we mustn't forget. Just before we signed him over in Portuguese league, he did, if I'm not mistaken, rack up about 16 goals in all competitions over there. So that was brilliant. So
Yes, for
we've got
Porto,
someone
wasn't it?
who's an attacking threat. I believe so. Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
I've had a couple of
yeah.
cans
I
of
think.
whoop-ass and my brain isn't working properly.
All
So,
right, J Lord, J Lord.
yeah. J Lord, we're going to win the dribble.
But talking of
Oh,
Tellers
mate.
again, and Fred, you know,
Yeah.
would you be
Yeah.
inclined to play
Tell
Alanga
us about
left back?
Tellers. Yeah, I don't mind Alanga at left back. I think Alanga, mate, he's fucking ripped as anything, full of young spunk, and he's lethal going
Yep.
forward, and he's got a goal in him. However, I don't know if he's.
Yeah.
He got sent off last Friday, I think, for the under 23s. He
Yeah.
got a goal and he got sent off. So we need old David Pritt to sort of update us with the youth league and the sort of
Yeah.
adult league to see if he's red carded there, if he's allowed to play for us. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. This is me being a bit of a fucktard, but at the end of the day, mate, we've hit the
Yeah.
31-minute mark. So have you got any closing words to wrap this
Um,
absolutely fucking daft banter cast up?
well, yeah. Basically, you know, Ronaldo came to save us again, and what a goal! You know, there's only a few players out there that can score that angle. All right, it got a bit of a deflection off the goalkeeper, but you know that's why we're paying him
Yeah,
500k a week for those sort of goals. And yeah, we touched on it earlier that he was being a bit of a lazy bastard in the respect of tracking back most of the game, but
yeah,
then you know he came good, didn't he? So it's
defo.
yeah, it would have. He was the only player that could have scored that goal, and you know it was written in the stars, so to speak. And I think also Jesse had a part to play in that as well by tripping over himself, doing a Phil Jones special.
Oh,
But
mate, that was
yeah,
class.
yeah,
The man of a million faces. Brilliant stuff,
yes,
mate.
this is it. And how about you?
Okay. Right, what are you going to
Final
say then?
thoughts? Well,
Well, all I'm going to say
as
is
I'm
if you need
finished, it's
some serious
over
hair
and out
gel,
from me.
good stuff, mate. And if you need some serious hand gel, not hair gel, hair gel,
Hemp.
just hemp, just make a visit down to your local happy shopper and fucking look like
Yeah,
Mr. Good Evening, that is. All right, over and out from me and Papa
yeah.
Doms for all. Be speaking to you later, you chronic masturbators.
Sweet.
Shabati.